everyone. Let us now start our today's class. So, it has been said that human beings are superior than any other creatures in the world. But why so? Which qualities do we have that makes us superior? So, the answer is that the quality to express. Only human beings has the faculty to express themselves, which makes them superior in this whole world. But how do we express ourselves? And the answer is, to express our thoughts, feelings and emotions, we at first use letters. Then with the help of letters, we make up words. Then from words, we form sentences. And at last, with the help of sentences, we make paragraphs. So, today, out of these 4 methods to express ourselves, we are going to have a detailed discussion on sentences. So, what are sentences? And to have the answer of this question, let us have a look at few examples that I have mentioned here. The first one is, I love mangoes. And the second one is, Hari is dancing on the stage. So, after looking at both the examples, we have got a clear idea about a sentence. That it is a group of words that makes a complete sense. Therefore, a sentence means just a cluster of few words that will make a meaningful sense. Now, in order to form a particular sentence, you must follow some points. And now I am going to tell you about these points. The first point is that, again this comes to these sentences. If you notice both the sentence minutely, you will find that in both the sentences, in the first part, I have mentioned the names of persons. And in the second part, I have mentioned the works that has been done by both the persons. So, the first part that contains the names of the persons are known as subjects in both the sentences. And the second part that contains the work that has been done by both the subjects are known as predicates. So, these subjects and predicates forms the first point in order to make a meaningful sentence. So, here I have mentioned this one. The first point is subject and predicate. Now, let us have a look about the second point. Now, again come to these sentences. And this time, we will divide both the sentences into 3 parts. First part, second part and the last part. So, if you notice these 3 parts, you will see that in the first part, I have mentioned the names of the persons. In the second part, I have mentioned the works done by these persons. And in the third part, I have mentioned that receives the works or activities of the verbs. So, here the first 2 parts itself, means the first part in both the sentences itself, are known as subjects. And the second parts, love and is dancing, are the verbs. And the third and remaining parts of the sentences are known as objects. So, this subject, verbs and objects forms the second point to form a sentence. Here see, subject, verb and object is the second rule to form a meaningful sentence. Suppose if you don't go through this rule and you just jumble the words, such as if you write down that mangoes I love, then the sentence is incorrect, because here you have put the object first, then the subject, and then the verb. So it is incorrect. That's why always while making a sentence, please go through the points that we have to first mention subject, then verb, and at last the object. Now the third point that I have mentioned here is meaningful. So to understand this point, please have a look at this example. Here I have written Hari is reading. So if you put the word mango after this, then what will be the result? It will be wrong, because it is imparting no sense. But if you put Hari is reading a book, this will impart some meaning. So your sentences should be meaningful. You can't write any of the words from your wish. It must be meaningful. Now we are going to discuss about the types of sentences. So we can divide a sentences according to its structure, purpose, form, completeness and syntax. And out of these 5, now we are going to discuss about the types of sentences according to its purpose. So again, we can divide the sentences according to its purpose into 5 types. And these are assertive sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, optative sentence and exclamatory sentence. And now, out of these 5, we are going to have a detailed discussion on assertive sentence. And in order to have a clear understanding of assertive sentence, let us first look after a few examples. Number 1, man is mortal. Number 2, the earth is round. Number 3, Rabindranath is the pride of India. 4, it is a fine house. So, after reading these examples, we can easily understand that an assertive sentence is nothing but it is just a sentence which describes a fact or an incident. Means the sentences that is explaining nothing else, only just a simple fact or a simple incident will be your assertive sentence. We can divide the assertive sentences into 2 parts. And to know the names of these 2 parts, again let us have few examples. Here I have mentioned 2 examples. The first one is I can swim and the second one is I can't swim. So from these 2 examples itself, we have got some idea that the first part of assertive sentence signifies a positive statement, which is known as affirmative. And the second division of an assertive sentence signifies a negative statement, and this is known as negative sentences. So here we got 2 distinctions of assertive sentence: affirmative sentences and negative sentences. Now, in order to transform these affirmative sentences into negative sentences, we should follow some rules. To know the first one, let us have a look at these 2 examples once again. Here you can notice that in the first example, I can swim, the statement is positive, but in the second aspect, I have put a not with the word or auxiliary verb can, and in this way the same sentence becomes negative from a positive one. And this is itself the first rule to transform a positive sentence or an affirmative sentence into a negative one, that is to put not after auxiliary verb. Again, to know the next point, here I have mentioned few examples. First one, I love mango. Next one, Riya sings well. The next one, I ate grapes. So now please look at the changes of these sentences. I love mango become I don't love mango. Riya sings well becomes Riya doesn't sing well. And the last one, I ate grapes becomes I didn't eat grapes. So if you look at these sentences minutely, you will follow that there is no auxiliary verb. Means, suppose you have got a sentence, there is no auxiliary verb. So then what will you do? In this case, you have to put do, does or did before the main verb. Suppose if there is no auxiliary verb in the sentence and the main verb itself is in present tense. Likewise this one, I love mango. So here, in this case, we have to put a do before the main verb and add not with it. So in this way, it has become I don't love mango. Again, if you find that there is a s or es with the main verb, in this case, we can add does. Say for example here, Riya doesn't sing well. And if the main verb is given in the past tense, like here, I ate grapes. So in this case, we have to put did before the main verb and with it, we will add a not. So here, our answer has become I didn't eat grapes. So I hope you have understood the transformation of affirmative sentences into negative sentences. So here is the end of today's discussion, and at the end of this discussion here I have mentioned few home assignments for our students. Please note down these home assignments and mail me your answers in the mail ID that I have mentioned in the description box. And if you have any further doubts regarding today's discussion, please tell me in the comment section. Thank you.